Hi everybody and welcome back to Tony in the Tiki Bar. I'm Tony and once again we are in the Tiki Bar. I am continuing my special segment on making the exotic cocktails of Smuggler's Cove. This book is available on Amazon.com and you can follow along with me, and that's all I'm going to say about it this time. And I'm going to try and do a quick one for you here. It's called Don's Own Grog, of course named after Don the Beachcomber. So we're going to go ahead and start off with our fresh citrus, as we always do. 3/4 of an ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice. And again, don't kill the lime, just squeeze the juice out of it. It doesn't have to be bitter. And we're going to add it to our drink mixer tin. And then we're going to go ahead and follow the recipe for Smuggler's Cove Demerara syrup. I highly recommend. The recipes are in the book. And we're going to use 1/4 of an ounce, which translates roughly to 1.5 teaspoons. So I'm going to grab the measuring spoons. And this stuff can be pretty sweet, so you don't want to go too heavy on it, but it is really good. It gives it a nice feel. It gives it a nice texture, flavor. It just enhances everything in this drink. And then we're going to go with just a dash of Smuggler's Cove grenadine, another recipe that's in the book that I homemade. This is pomegranate juice and simple syrup, basically. And so a dash it calls for. I should have a dasher bottle, but I don't, so I'm just going to put a real little bit for color and for flavor and texture, and set that aside. Then we're going to go with, have you ever seen the movie Back to the Future, where Doc Brown just realizes that he has to create 1.21 gigawatts of power to make time travel possible with the flux capacitor, and he's losing his mind, and he goes, how am I going to generate that kind of power? And Marty McFly says, well, all you got to do is use a little plutonium. And he says, maybe in 1984 or 85, plutonium is available in any store that you walk into, but it's not that easy to come by. So the next ingredient is a 1/2 ounce of Leopold Brothers Rocky Mountain Blackberry Liqueur. It is not that easy to find. However, I managed to get my hands on 1/2 ounce of it, and we're going to add that into our drink mixer tin. And then we're going to go ahead with 1 ounce of blended aged rum. I'm using El Dorado 5-year, and we're going to go with 1 ounce of that. Oh, this stuff smells so good. And we're going to use 1/2 ounce of blended lightly aged rum. My Appleton Estate Signature Blend, always a favorite. We want to measure, right? Because we want a consistent drink every time. So 1/2 ounce. That's key to making these exotic cocktails, is measuring and consistency. And we're going to go with 1/2 ounce of black blended rum, and I'm going to go ahead and use some of my coveted last of my supply of Lemon Heart, because this is going to be a really good grog, a really good exotic cocktail. I'm making it for my wife Erica. She's waiting for it upstairs patiently. Meanwhile, my neighbors and my friends who know what I'm doing down in the basement and who are not invited here right now because you're here with me, are heckling me and texting me and threatening me. So we're going to go ahead and use a dab, which is code for dash of Angostura bitters. And let's see. I'm going to use a cheat sheet here and see if I'm remembering everything. Fresh lime juice, Demerara syrup, grenadine, Leopold Brothers Rocky Mountain Blackberry Liqueur, blended aged rum, blended lightly aged rum, and black blended rum, and a dash of Angostura bitters. So, what do we do next? Well, we need our crushed ice. And we're going to go ahead and use our Lewis ice bag and mallet to crush the ice, so it's the perfect consistency for this delicious, refreshing drink. And we're going to add 12 ounces of that crushed ice to our drink mixer cup. And we're going to flash blend in our drink mixer. Hopefully this time everything stays intact. About 10 seconds. That's got a nice frothy head on it, and you can smell the citrus, you can smell the rum. And we're going to serve it in our Billy's at the Beach double old-fashioned glass. And garnish with some fresh nutmeg. Exotic cocktails call for exotic spices. I have our planer here, and we're just going to put a nice little bit on top of there. And we're going to put a little swizzle stick in there. If we can find one. How about if we use a little straw? This is the live television. This is what happens when you're sitting at the bar. This is Don's own grog from Smuggler's Cove, and I'm going to give this one to my lovely wife, but I'm going to have a little taste of it myself first because that nutmeg smells so good. Oh, and I can see that that is going to frost up the outside of this glass. Thanks for joining me here at Tony and the Tiki Bar. I'm glad you were here. Come back and see me again. If you like this, please subscribe, like, send me some comments. Tell me if you think there's something else you'd like to see, or if you think there's something I can do better. I appreciate it. Cheers.